Most people think confidence is about being the loudest in the room. The psychology of confidence tells a different story. Within 500 milliseconds of meeting you, people have already read microsignals across your face that account for 62% of how your self-assurance is judged. Not your words, not your volume, fleeting expressions you can't consciously control. And what separates that reading from arrogance is something most people misread. Before a word is spoken, the body sets the frame. Posture, gesture, use of space, and movement synchrony are the first signals people register, often without conscious awareness. An open, upright stance, shoulders back and head level, predicts higher confidence ratings, with a medium effect size, around D equals 0.45, in laboratory studies. In real-world meetings, those who claim vertical and lateral space are seen as more authoritative, taking up about 20% more space forward compared to less confident peers. This expansion is subtle, not aggressive, a quiet claiming of one's place in the room, not an invasion of others' boundaries. Gestures matter as well, but it is not about constant motion. Confident individuals use their hands with purpose and economy. Large, fluid gestures, especially those that precede speech, correlate with an R of 0.38 for confidence ratings. These gestures cover over 30% of the body's frontal plane, yet remain smooth, avoiding jitter or abrupt stops. The ease of movement, what researchers call motor fluency, signals internal composure. When movement is relaxed and coordinated, observers infer certainty and self-control, even in silence. Spatial behavior adds another layer. Confident people maintain a modest buffer, about half a meter, neither shrinking back nor crowding in. Point light display experiments reveal that when someone's body centroid is positioned just 20% forward relative to their partner, observers reliably read this as confidence, not threat. It is a calculation made in seconds, shaping who is seen as credible or trustworthy. Synchrony completes the picture. When a person's gestures and postural shifts align with the rhythm of their speech, phase locking above 0.6, others perceive a sense of control and presence. This synchrony is rarely noticed explicitly, but it sets apart those who seem at ease from those whose movements and words are out of step. Across cultures and contexts, these physical cues anchor first impressions, forming the foundation for everything that follows, before tone of voice or facial nuance ever come into play. Eyes and voice sharpen the first impression, refining what posture and gesture begin. In the opening half-second of any encounter, attention locks onto the face, especially the eyes. Eye-tracking studies show that observers fixate on the eye region within 500 milliseconds, scanning for signs of composure or strain. This rapid focus isn't just about politeness, it's an unconscious search for micro-expressions that reveal emotional steadiness. A brief lift at the lips corner, a relaxed brow, or a subtle widening of the eyes, all lasting less than a quarter of a second, carry surprising weight. Together, these micro-expressions explain over 60% of the variance in confidence ratings after only 2 seconds of exposure. Even the smallest flicker can tip the balance between being seen as self-assured or uncertain. The voice enters as a parallel channel. Authority is often heard before it is seen. Across meetings, interviews, and group discussions, a lower pitch with a narrow range is strongly linked to perceptions of confidence. Statistical analysis shows a correlation of roughly 0.71 between low, steady pitch and authority ratings. It's not about speaking loudly or dominating the conversation. It's the steadiness of tone, the absence of tremor, and the measured pacing that matter most. Confident speakers use controlled pauses and maintain a consistent vocal depth, signaling internal regulation even when content is complex or stakes are high. Micro-expressions and vocal signals work in tandem. When the voice is calm and the face shows brief, positive micro-movements, observers register composure and reliability. If the face flashes tension for even a fraction of a second, or if the voice wavers, the impression of confidence erodes just as quickly. These cues are subtle, but they operate as a kind of social shorthand, allowing people to read emotional stability and self-trust almost instantly. Together, eye region attention, vocal authority markers, and micro-expressions complete the surface toolkit for confidence perception, setting the stage for how hidden tells and emotional leakage will be detected in the moments that follow. Signals of insecurity rarely announce themselves with volume or drama. Instead, they slip through the cracks in our composure, often in ways we barely notice ourselves. Even a fleeting micro-expression can carry weight. In controlled studies, a contemptuous flash, a slight lift of the lip lasting less than 200 milliseconds, reduced confidence ratings by 0.22 standard deviations. The face may be arranged in a polite smile, but a hidden trace of doubt or disdain leaks through. And observers, even untrained ones, tend to pick up on the mismatch. This is what researchers call micro-leakage, when the emotional state behind the mask briefly escapes. The jaw tells its own story. High-speed video analysis reveals that a subtle jaw clench, often invisible in real time, is read as agitation by others. In one experiment, when actors clenched their jaw just before making a decisive point, observers rated them as 18% more agitated and 12% less trustworthy. The effect is not limited to the boardroom. In casual conversation, that small tightening of the jaw can be enough to signal discomfort, especially when it appears out of sync with the speaker's words. Throat clearing is another red flag. While it may seem like a trivial habit, repeated throat clearing before or during speech is strongly associated with perceived nervousness. Listeners, often unconsciously, interpret the sound as a sign of internal tension or a struggle to maintain composure. This pattern has been coded in leadership simulations and public speaking studies, where its presence consistently lowers ratings of confidence and authority. These moments of leakage matter not because they are dramatic, but because they disrupt the coherence between what is shown and what is felt. When facial expressions, muscle tension, and vocal habits fall out of alignment, even for a split second, observers register the disconnect. The mind is tuned to spot these micro-signals, drawing rapid conclusions about whether a person is truly self-assured or merely performing. As the narrative moves into practical examples, these red flags become the cues to watch for, revealing how easily the illusion of confidence can be punctured by the body's own betrayals. A product manager stands before her team, guiding a tense project review. On one side of the split screen, her posture remains open, hands resting calmly as she listens. When she speaks, her voice holds steady, each pause deliberate. Team members nod, lean in, and share updates without hesitation. On the other side, the same manager interrupts, gestures sharply, shoulders tight. Her voice rises and quickens. The team's body language closes off, and responses grow clipped. In a recent study, using this split-screen method, observers rated the calm version as 2.3 times more trustworthy and twice as likely to inspire follow-through, even with identical words. The difference lies in composure, not volume. A crisis manager faces a simulated emergency. Heart rate monitors track both the leader and the team. When instructions are delivered with slow, measured speech and relaxed facial muscles, team members' heart rate variability increases by 12%, a physiological marker of trust and calm. In the loud, agitated version, heart rates spike and compliance falters. The crisis trust multiplier emerges, teams follow calm leaders more readily, and their own stress drops in real time. This effect holds across industries, from aviation to healthcare. Wherever lives depend on clear-headed authority. In a networking event, two approaches unfold. The first participant listens intently, using brief nods and back-channel phrases. "I see" and "go on," timed to the speaker's rhythm. Connection scores, measured by independent raters, rise with each synchronized cue. The listening connection metric shows that matching the other's tempo nearly doubles the odds of being judged trustworthy. In contrast, the overeager networker interrupts, nods excessively, and responds before the other finishes, eroding rapport despite good intentions. A dating vignette contrasts quiet confidence with showy dominance. The self-assured dater maintains gentle eye contact, mirrors posture subtly, and speaks with a steady tone. Attraction ratings climb, while the dominant, performative approach, marked by loud voice and exaggerated gestures, triggers skepticism and lower connection scores. Experimental data reveal that dominance cues can increase charitable giving, beta equals 0.19 in some contexts, but in close interactions, warmth and composure win out. Across all scenarios, physiological evidence ties back to emotional regulation. Leaders with higher resting heart rate variability, an index of vagal tone and internal calm, are consistently rated as more confident. When stress rises, those who can reappraise and steady their breath show a measurable boost in perceived authority, D equals 0.31. The data converge, Trust, attraction, and credibility hinge less on loud displays and more on the subtle, observable signs of internal stability. In a world that rewards noise, real confidence is still recognized in the quiet details, composure, emotional steadiness, and subtle cues. As social judgments shape careers and relationships, that distinction matters more than ever. People sense authenticity before performance. The signals you send are read, whether you intend them or not,